Sup guys, this is Xine here, and this is Zine's Guide to Halo 4 on Legendary. This is the level Composer.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
Oh, thank God. When your signal cut off,
Doctor, listen to me. You have to issue the order to evacuate the station.
First order of business, drop your assault rifle for the Needler that the Jackal has. There's another one over here.
Send me your coordinates. I'll see what I can do about clearing an evac route on my way to you.
Once the door opens, you're going to want to try to take the, the carbine from the Jackal there. If it despawns ahead of time, you should be able to get the second one that the second marksman drops. If you can, go ahead and just take out a couple of those grunts over there. It's up to you if you want to do that. Continue on up ahead. Crouch here. Peek over the wall. You can go ahead and headshot the one Jackal sniper and then follow up on the other one. Pull out your Needler. Come and just kill the elite. But your goal here is to kill all of the grunts before the elite gets near you. If the elite does get near you, you can go ahead and just use the Needler to kill him. Once you're done, run up here, pick up the Jackal Sniper's beam rifle, pick up whatever one has more ammo. You're going to want to juggle this up ahead. You're going to want to start with the sticky detonator for the couple of elites that come up here. Peek out the window here. Shoot the Jackal marksman. If you're running low on DMR ammo, there's another one right up here. Once this wave of elites comes in from the dropship, you're going to want to go ahead and try to snipe them with the beam rifle. Keep in mind, it can fire faster than the sniper rifle, so you can make follow-up shots significantly faster, which you're going to have to do because the elites will effectively take cover immediately after the first shot hits them. It's rather frustrating, but it's what you have to work with. Don't like the fact that the corpse blocked my shot there. Don't listen to Cortana there. She will get you killed as 2 Jackal snipers drop in, and also a sword elite. Make sure he's good and dead. Make sure he gets nowhere near you. And keep track where you kill him, because we're going to take that sword. And we're going to use it against the 2 hunters that are a couple of rooms up ahead. If you run out of beam rifle ammo, just use the Needler or sticky detonator if he gets too close with the elite with the concussion rifle. Now, if that other Jackal sniper doesn't poke his head out, he usually ends up hiding around the corner here. Want to pick up the sword, make sure it doesn't despawn. There he is. You're going to want a Needler for the start of the next section. As soon as the door opens, you're going to want to throw 2 plasma grenades, or frag grenades, whatever you have, and then fire the Needler at whatever's left. Listen in for that countdown, because once it hits 1, the door will open. Alright, I'm just running back here to pick up some DMR ammo. And no more DMRs up here. I'm gonna go ahead and detach this machine gun turret. We're gonna carry it with us for the next couple of areas. Now, what I wanted to do here was to have the elite jump on the turret and then just spam the DMR at them. Unfortunately, the grunts were very protective of that one elite. And proceeded to just spam my position, so I had to wait for my shields to recharge, which I've gone over the shield recharge mechanics before, but for the uninitiated, your shields take 6 seconds to begin recharging, the enemies take 3.5 seconds to begin recharging. Your shields take about 1.5 seconds to recharge fully, but the enemy shields take only around, like, 3 seconds. So by the time your shields are fully recharged, your enemy shields are more than fully recharged. It's rather frustrating. But if you can't just spam him around the corner with the DMR, just combo him from range from up here. He won't even try to shoot at you if you just shoot him between the guardrails here. Trying to get him to pop out of cover. If comboing the elite doesn't work, I'm just going to go ahead and throw my sword over here so it's easier to pick up. We can go ahead and go back to our good old strategy that we established on Dawn. So long as the elite is by himself. Now, you can head back for the machine gun turret, or you can take this plasma turret. It's really up to you which one you prefer. I prefer the machine gun turret normally. I just didn't bother going back for it. Alright, next order of business, take out the grunts and jackals, so that the elites are easier to deal with the plasma turret, or machine gun turret, whatever you have on you. Now, the elites up there can vary in combination. You can have one with a concussion rifle, and one with a needler. You can have two with concussion rifles. You can have these two chuckle fucks that are just both armed with storm rifles. I'm not too sure why the game decided to make it incredibly easy this one time around, but you can get away with this from a further distance using the plasma turret, even if they're using concussion rifles. And if you can't get the finishing blow, just swap back to your DMR. Alright. Pick up the thruster pack. Run in, use the boost, get behind the hunter, slash his back. If you miss the orange portion, it will take 2 hits. And keep in mind that every time you melee, the battery goes down by 10%. Not when you kill things, when you hit enemies. But if you do it the way I demonstrated, you should be able to kill the 2 hunters relatively quickly. Alright, now this next strategy, I hate to admit it, but this literally came out of necessity and not because I wanted to carry a turret. If you break that turret, there is a grunt in the section later when you have to operate the Mantis, and that grunt will shred you from a ridiculously far distance. And I find that breaking the turret at least makes it so that doesn't happen as frequently.
If we can reactivate them, I can program the station's defenses to provide...
You also get to carry a machine gun turret with you, so I mean, that's a bonus.
Okay, I'll send you the coordinates.
The Mantis expert. I know how to use it to haul cargo, not shoot Covenant. The Watch Commander said he was sending someone down who knew how to use the weapons on these things.
I swore that's Steve Blum. I don't know who else that could be. Alright, more sticky detonator ammo right there.
Officer, seal the door behind me.
Now, thankfully, we don't have to save this turret. Just go hog wild. Careful around this corner. There's a Jackal Marksman and a Grunt with a Needler. This next section, you have to be very careful about when the door opens. There's another sticky detonator right there, near that other container, in case you need one. The way I like to handle this is to use the sticky detonator against the elite, and then pick up the turret and try to finish him off. But for whatever reason, that he just flat out pulled a Houdini and despawned. I've never had that happen. Went back for sticky detonator ammo. As soon as that door opens, you can go ahead and carry the machine gun turret or plasma turret through here. It's not really necessary. You're going to want to keep an eye on which of these doors open, and use the sticky detonator to kill the enemies as they leave the airlock. I am aware that you can flush them out of the airlock by hitting the button once they enter. However, this room is a little bit too crowded to get away with that reliably. And it's way safer to just stay up here and just use the sticky detonator from range. Assuming you use the machine gun or plasma turret. I'm going to leave it behind, pick up a pistol, and continue onward. You're going to want to try and backsmack the elite. You don't want to do the full assassination animation, because it can screw you over. I got lucky there. It didn't cause any headaches. Right, walked over another pistol. Another pistol from the dead scientist in case you're running low.
She'll get you to the evacuation area.
Pick up the auto sentry and then restock on sticky detonator ammo. Be two grunts around this corner. Just go ahead, dispatch them. Right, another airlock. This one is significantly harder because the enemies get a flanking route right frickin' next to you. And this is where the auto sentry comes in handy. You pop it out relatively near the door and it should keep the enemies occupied. For whatever reason, the airlocks in this area are labeled backwards. I want to keep an eye on that middle one because there is a elite with a sword in there that is also cloaked. It is the only other time there is a cloaked elite in the entire game wielding a sword. I'm demonstrating that you can indeed flush them out the airlock. Sometimes on that far left one, there can be a grunt that kind of just gets like stuck on the terrain there and he kind of just floats. So keep that in mind. Alright. Stick the one elite, pop the auto sentry. kill the other elite. Just spam shots from your DMR and pistol. Since those are the two weapons that will not despawn in that area. Just for sake of consistency.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
Drop your pistol for another sticky detonator.
I'm here. Any luck?
Stock up on DMR ammo.
Defense grid online
Wait
now.
for Cortana to do whatever the hell she's
I
doing.
hear it. We'll broadcast the final evac orders.
The nuke?
We're rigging it now. Meet us back on the upper platform, and we'll help you get it to the artifact.
Chief, if we pull this off and actually get back.
I won't say anything.
Thank you.
Turn around. You can go ahead and try to pop the auto sentry around this corner. It won't last long. Mainly because all of the incessant needler fire. And all else fails, just whip out the sticky detonator and just start spamming it. He also pulls out a sword when he dies, which is a bit perplexing. Alright, you get inside, immediately head to the left, pick up the Spartan laser.
They found the composer.
You can pick up the 2 frag grenades over here. And we're gonna go ahead and ignore the Mantis for a decent chunk of this section.
The composer's location's compromised.
It's ironically easier
Down here.
when you are on the machine gun turret. It also guarantees that you get a full health Mantis for when things get hairy.
To get the composer.
Once you got most of the enemies taken out, just go ahead, hop on the machine gun turret whenever you have the opportunity. Whenever a ghost gets too far to the point where the machine gun's not effective, or they get too close to the point where you can't hit them anymore, usually to the right, the Spartan laser works pretty well. It unfortunately consumes more battery than it should, but that's more of a holdover from Reach and not from Halo 4. Do keep an eye on the dropships when they come in. The first one that drops off a Wraith is no threat. The second one, before it drops its Wraith off, you need to get off the turret and head to the Mantis. Otherwise, you will find yourself exploding. You can usually tell when that happens because Cortana will announce the next wave.
Another wave.
Alright, so that's the first Phantom with the first Wraith. That one can be ignored. It usually ends up getting stuck on the terrain. And if you're really lucky, it ends up blowing itself up. Alright, next wave of dropships. This is the one that you need to be paying attention for. Because that is the second Wraith that will try to just flat out just obliterate you from a mile away. And that one won't get stuck on the terrain. Thankfully, if you just fire the machine gun at it, to the point where it overheats, or almost overheats. It's enough to kill the Wraith. Oh, there's the ghost. Now this was just silly. I popped out the auto sentry, and for whatever reason, the elite deemed it the biggest threat in the area, and just decided to just stay in cover the entire time while it was deployed. Only peeking out for a couple seconds, only to run immediately back. Keep in mind, he is armed with a fuel rod cannon, which is why I keep looking back. So I break the auto sentry, and like clockwork, he pops out of cover. And then immediately goes back. Now hopefully that doesn't happen to you, because as soon as he ended up dying, the wave of Banshees came in, and the best place to deal with them is behind that rock to the left. As soon as you hear Cortana say that, whether you're on the turret or not, you need to get into the Mantis and haul your ass over here to behind this giant rock. This is your home going forward. You're going to want to only peer around the corner and deal with the Banshees when your shield is relatively full. Despite the fact that the Mantis' shields take a literal frickin' eternity to start recharging and take even longer to actually recharge, they're not that more durable than you just being on foot. But the Mantis has the advantage of effectively being a machine gun turret you can carry around and move with infinite ammo. And also missiles that may or may not hit things that fly. You want to be very careful when you're hiding behind this rock, because directly behind you, there's just a pitfall. So you don't want to stray too far. And here I'm just using and abusing the fact that the Mantis' machine gun is on the right-hand side and shooting around the corner. Now be mindful, around this point there will be suicide grunts, and they will just make your life a living hell if you don't take care of them first. Another Wraith, go ahead and blow it up. It's not too complicated stuff. I mean, you are in a Mantis. It does actually have good offense. A bit lacking in the defense department, but we can forgive it.
Dr. Joseph, where's the warhead?
Right around this point, where things start to get obscenely hairy,
I'll keep trying to raise her.
most of the enemies just kind of fuck off. And in case you do have to deal with that hellspawn of a grunt on the machine gun turret, there is another Spartan laser here. And also if that other Wraith is still around. That machine gun turret is the one that the grunt will usually jump onto. I find that if you rip it off the base of it earlier and carry it through the level, or at least just break it, it lowers the chances of the grunt just flat out being on there. I don't know why that's a thing. I don't have theater mode in Halo 4 to take a look at that and to do any like more in-depth digging. That's really all I have to say about that. I don't know why breaking that turret prevents the grunt from boarding it, but normally there will be a grunt on it, and he will shred you from about as far as I was able to use the turret. Alright. Now that the combat's pretty much over with, I'll see you guys on the next level, which is Midnight, which... yeah, it's a bit of a mess of a level in terms of balance. We'll get through it together. See you next time.
Cortana, see if you can raise Tilson. Get me a status on the rest of the station.
I can't believe they did that.
Cortana, I need that info. Don't think about the Didact. Don't think about the Composer. Only focus on finding me Tilson.
Tilson. Sandra Kay. Female, 51 years of age. Doctor of Archaeology. Pegasi Institute. Got her! Biosignature stable on 350 level. B-deck.
Thank you, Cortana.